Confused for tapas. We're going to talk about peace, love, and vegetarianism because that's what people think yoga is. And then, dude, seriously, tell me I'm wrong, but that's what people think yoga is.
You are not wrong. I'm laughing because it's true. Hey everybody, welcome to Seriously Lighthearted Yoga. Today we're going to be changing our tone a little bit here. We're going to be diving into and coining a phrase that...
and it's contrary to Seriously Lighthearted Yoga.
Yeah, it's pretty, and that's really why we're bringing it up. It is the
antithesis of what we are.
Yeah, the equal and opposite force of Seriously Lighthearted Yoga. So that phrase or that theory, that practice, that ideal of yoga, we are coming to call the cult of suffering.
Woohoo!
Cult of suffering. And we're going to talk a bit more about how it relates to yoga, but what do we mean when we say cult of suffering?
Yeah. So guys, this cult of suffering idea that we have essentially comes out of the idea that yoga is a transformative experience. And people hear that and they think, oh, great, I need to be transformed. And, everyone likes to be transformed in some way or another. We're all working towards something. But this transformative experience, when you practice yoga, will happen as a result of practicing. The cult of suffering arises when your ego tries to create more suffering. So it says, we're not taking on enough of a burden. Mm-hmm. And I encourage you to say that this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it this way. You don't need to create any unnecessary energy for this. The suffering that's going to happen will happen. It doesn't need to be created. It'll be there. Mm-hmm. You'll have plenty to transform from. And this idea of the cult of suffering often gets confused with the video we did just a few days ago, tapas, that energy of transformation. So people think, I'm going to go fast for a few days because it will give me that transformative experience that I need to kind of fulfill my ideal of yoga. And this is, again, the problem. The ego is creating something for you to do that fits its ideal and not the ideal of yoga. So when you're practicing yoga, notice if you are trying to create unnecessary suffering for yourself and recognize that this is not productive on the path of yoga. Mm-hmm. It can actually set you back. A lot of people like to think of yoga as like that peace, love, vegetarianism thing, and it's on one end it is that, but on the other end it is the practices that we do to arrive at the state of awareness that we're going towards.
Yeah, and it may be peace, love, and vegetarianism, but it's not for the sake of penance.
Yeah. Don't feel like you have to do it for any reason.
Mm-hmm. You're not required to make sacrifices necessarily to be a good yogi.
And like I said, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you make them or not, the ones that are meant for you are going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as your yoga practice proceeds, let the sacrifices occur, as opposed to trying to artificially create them or artificially make them happen.
And there will be plenty.
There will be plenty of things that change about you as your yoga practice continues. So,
trying to push it forward too much.
Yeah.
Because, again, this ego is attached to this idea of aversion to pain, attachment to pleasure. And this cult of suffering is when we
go to the other side of that.
Confuse
Mm-hmm.
this for attachment to pain, in a sense, is what I like to think of it as.
Yeah, if you consider modern culture this lifeblood of
opulent and affluent society.
And this lack of desire for pain. A lot of people will consider yoga the absolute opposite of that, where it is the practice of pain to reduce the
and that's not what it
necessity. No, it's not. That's not what it is at all. That is, the cult of suffering is bad. Steer clear of the cult of suffering. So it's pretty controversial. That's definitely our personal view of this.
Yoga, practicing it.
Yeah, and so we're trying to change the way people look at it. We are Seriously Lighthearted Yoga, not cult of suffering yoga. So
You're a cult suffer, you go hang out with Bikram or something.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's plenty of people out there that follow kind of this, as we put it, this cult of suffering, and you don't need to be that person. Yoga is whatever you need it to be. Just don't force anything. Let it be an organic, natural thing as you progress.
Attachment to pain.
Yep, absolutely. So hopefully that makes sense. Shoot us some comments. Let us know what you guys think about that. If you have any questions about it, maybe you're confused at what kind of conclusions we're drawing or where we're going with this, please feel free to let us know. Our email's available at the end of this video. You can also comment. We will definitely be talking about this more in the future. So this is kind of your introduction. But hopefully that makes sense. Give somebody a high five. Subscribe, like, and share. And that was pretty unnecessarily forceful. That's bordering cult of suffering yoga. Anyway, yeah, we will see you guys all tomorrow.